Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and this is another tarot spreads video. In this video we're going to do the spread Aquarius with the subtitle, I Know. You can find this spread as well as many of the other, if not all, of the other tarot spread videos that I've done in this book, the Illustrated Tarot Spread book by Filner and Schreiner. This particular spread, Aquarius, I Know, can be found on page 91. All right. This spread has 8 cards. We're looking at the Rider-Waite deck right now. We are going to compare it to the Green Witch Tarot when I flip over the cards and we do a brief interpretation. There are 8 cards. First card is here, and this position is, these are my current friends. This is card number 2. This is, how is my desire for freedom? Card number 3. Do I claim leadership in the group? Card number 4, how do I oppose society? Card number 5, how is my spontaneity? Card number 6, this is my feeling of inferiority. Card number 7, do I overestimate myself? And card number 8, how can I reach the star, or can I live my dream? 8 cards. So let's do the interpretation for Aquarius. Let's flip them over again. Flip them over so we can see them. Card number 1 is, these are my current friends. Card number 2, how is my desire for freedom? Card number 3, do I claim leadership in the group? Card number 4, how do I oppose society? Card number 5, how is my spontaneity? Card number 6, this is my feeling of inferiority. Card number 7, do I overestimate myself? And the last card in this spread is, how do I reach the star? Can I live my dream? Alrighty. First thing I notice, how many major arcana cards do we have in an 8-card spread? We have 3. 3 major arcana cards. Less than half, but you know, a good amount of major arcana cards. And they are in the position of, how is my desire for freedom? This is my feeling of inferiority. And how do I reach the star? Can I live my dream? So these are the situations where I want to pay close attention to, because for this individual that we're doing the reading for, these are the points that have a more profound effect on the individual and their life. So I would want to do some digging here, ask more probing questions, maybe pull more cards, because there's information here we really want to explore, okay? The other cards, we have 1 court card, so there is a court card, 2 wands, a pentacle, and swords. There are actually, the only cup is the Queen of Cups. So all of the suits are represented here. One of the suits being the court card. There's 2 wands, so I would say that there's a lot of energy moving or energy in transition here, because when I see wands, I think of energy flowing, a very projective thing happening, action being taken. And the 2 wands are in the position of, how is my spontaneity? And do I overestimate myself? So obviously this, even without reading it, there is action in spontaneity and action in overestimating myself. So this would make sense to me. So we're going to look at this and interpret this now. So we're going to look at this. I happen to be in an Aquarius. My sun sign is Aquarius. So we're going to say that I'm doing this reading for myself. I want to gain some insight about me, CricketSong. So let's take a look at this. So the first card is, these are my current friends. Here we see the Ten of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So I would look at this and say, okay, Ten of Pentacles upright really talks to me about family, stability. It talks to me about physicality, people, physical friends, physical friends that I would feel stability with, I feel secure with, I feel loyalty and very grounded and rooted. They're my foundation. But because we see this reversed, I would suggest that I am not feeling that any friends I have, maybe I don't have friends here physical where I'm living at this point, and which is true. I really don't have very many close friends here in Seattle right now. And of those people that might be here that I may consider friends, I don't feel that they're very rooted, which is true. I have met a few people here that I think of them more of acquaintances, but even if I were to develop a friendship with them right now, it's not very grounded, it's not very rooted, it's not very stable because we've just met. So this makes sense to me. This makes sense. The second card here, how is my desire for freedom? We see the Hanged Man here. So again, profound. So how is my desire for freedom? So when I see the Hanged Man, it talks to me about sacrificing things. It talks to me about equivalent exchange, giving up something in order to receive something in return. It talks about having faith in this, you know, having hope, having confidence in an exchange in this way, giving something up to receive something. So how is my desire for freedom? I would suggest that here, looking at the Hanged Man, I desire freedom, but I know that I need to give up something in order to attain this freedom. So for me, if I'm thinking freedom, I'm thinking no kids, no husband, totally all about me. I would have to give up kids and husband to be totally free. And I can tell you right now, I don't want to do that. So I would need to consider the sacrifice required in order to have that freedom. So that's how I would look at that. Card number 3, do I claim leadership in the group? When I do yes or no questions like this, upright is yes, reversed is no. So the answer right now is do I claim leadership in the group? Yes. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Chalices is upright, so that is yes. And I see this as a projection or a reflection of how I see myself as the leader in the group. And when I see the Queen of Cups, I look at a mother type person, someone sensitive, maybe oversensitive at times, someone who is more concerned about the emotional well-being of the people in the group, whether it's family, whether it's friends. And she really addresses these things emotionally. She may not be as practical as someone else, but she's going to come to the solution and come to leadership in an emotional sense, which is definitely me. Definitely me. So I see this is a reflection of how I am. Card number 4, how do I oppose society? Here we see the 6 of Swords, or the 6 of Athames. And this talks to me about moving away from conflict and observing it or intellectualizing it from a distance, leaving anything that is disturbing, leaving situations that are toxic. How do I oppose to society? I would suggest that I withdraw from society. I create a boundary between me and what's going on in society, the things that I don't resonate with, the things that cause me stress or anxiety. I withdraw, I run away, I pull away. I avoid conflict, and that's how I would read the card, and that is exactly how I am. I would suggest that is how I am. Card number 5, how is my spontaneity? 5 of Wands here. Generally, I look at this, if it was upright, and I would say it's a making compromises, being a mediator, soothing out different points of opinions, taking everybody's perspective, different perspectives, and trying to come up with a compromise, but it's reversed. So here I would suggest that maybe again there is a desire to want to mediate, but generally there's more of a step back and just watch it unfold. So then how is my spontaneity? I almost feel like what we're saying here is I would like to be spontaneous, but there is too much concern about everybody else trying to have a say, and the spontaneity, I just go with others' spontaneity, kind of a receptive way of being spontaneous, not actively directing the energy, but sort of going with majority rules kind of thing. And that's how I am spontaneous. I don't know if that's how I would normally think of myself, but that's how I would interpret the cards. So for me personally, I would have to do some more thought on that and contemplation, because it's not how I think of myself, but maybe it is. This is my feeling of inferiority. We hear of the Hierophant here. When I generally see the Hierophant card, it really speaks to me about, for me, the Hierophant represents the priest of the church. I do come from a Roman Catholic background, so this would talk to me about the Pope, the authority of the church. So how I interpret this for myself would be, there is some feeling of inferiority when we are talking about higher authority, especially higher authority that deals in sort of a spiritual sense. And I would suggest here, because I know me, I would interpret this as not feeling worthy of value in a spiritual sense, almost sort of like the greater is more important than me. So whether we're looking at the greater good, whether that's family, whether that's society, whether that's whatever situation, there is a desire to be leader or a desire to be a point of focus, but there is this inferiority feeling that I am not worthy of that, which is kind of goes hand in hand with the leadership, worrying about everybody else's feelings first and putting myself last, putting the greater good first, putting my needs last, which is a tendency I have. And this would be where my feeling of inferiority would come from. The next card is, do I overestimate myself? The 10 of Wands, upright position. Quick answer is yes, I tend to overestimate myself. And I look at the card in regards to burdens, responsibilities, things that I am responsible for. I tend to take too much on my plate. I tend to overschedule myself. I tend to overcommit myself. Yes, that is how I would read that. And the last card, how do I reach the star? Can I live my dream? I would say the card, Lover's card is upright. Can I live my dream? Yes. How do I do this? We see the Lover's card. And here I see a sort of a vibrational match. Taking both the masculine, the projective energies, and the receptive energies, the feminine, and merging them, being receptive as well as projective, doing work as well as allowing the energies to flow, following the wheel of the year, sort of the wheel of fortune, allowing spirit to guide and synchronicities to fall into place, but consistently doing the work and putting forth the effort in order to attain what I want. So yes, finding what my true will is, finding what my true desires are, and following that, listening to the messages and the guidance that I receive from both physical people as well as spiritual guidance. That's how I attain the star. So at this point, I am just going to compare the cards with the Green Witch Tarot to see if it actually would change anything in the reading, to see if I would read it in a different way. Actually, this should be this way, to see if it changes anything in the reading. I don't see it changing anything, but let's take a look. So all the cards are basically the same. The Hierophant becomes the High Priest, but I would still interpret that in the same way. Everything else I would interpret the same way as well. So that is the Aquarius spread in the Tarot Spreads book. If you decide to do it for yourself, please let me know how it turned out for you. If you decide to make a video, I would love to see it, so be sure to share the link with me. And until next time, I love you. Mwah. Blessed be.